Here is the next video.
Title sounds bad. I'm a 25-year-old male, and my 24-year-old girlfriend, Sarah, has always had these random style changes, I guess. Like, one day she'd wear skirts or a simple dress shirt, and next she's wearing shorts and crop tops, halter tops, tank tops, etc. So her style changes a lot. It bothered me since she's very attractive, and whenever we'd go out, she'd get stares and has even gotten hit on because they think she's single. So she wanted to get highlights, and her sister had this store-bought highlight thingy, and before the pandemic she borrowed it to do it. And I managed to convince her not to do it, so she forgot about it, and now she remembered and wanted to get dark purple highlights. I rather prefer girls with undyed hair. It's just a preference, so I told her that I'd rather she not do it since it wouldn't really look good on her and she'd ruin her hair. She told me that she thinks it'll look good on her, and plus, she'll be able to just highlight them brown or fully dye her hair back to brown if she doesn't like it. I told her that I wouldn't like it since it'd ruin her hair. I didn't mean to come off as controlling. She just shrugged and we went to sleep after that, and I thought that was the end of it. Then, the next day, I woke up to her making breakfast with purple highlighted hair. I asked her why she did that, since I told her it wouldn't look good. I still didn't like it. She said she had a change of heart and that it shouldn't matter what she looks like because personality matters. Then I said to her she should have told me if she was going to do it, and she asked why. And I told her I'd rather know if my girlfriend was going to damage her hair. I should have chosen my words better, cause she got all defensive and told me that I shouldn't have a say in what she does with her hair and how I manipulated her last time. So amidst the whole fight, the breakfast got burned, and we were too busy arguing so it was too late to save the food and we had to throw the food away. I was tired, so I said out of anger that this wouldn't have happened if you would just listen to me and stop being a child. Sarah then started yelling at me again, saying I should cook for myself and that she shouldn't have to be my maid. I told her that she does these things by herself. I can cook and clean, but she does that, so I see no reason to dismantle the system, and she likes cooking. Then, when I thought the fight was over and that she would make breakfast while I cleaned the bedroom, she made breakfast for herself and told me she's leaving and she's done with me, and now she's at her friend's house. This happened a few days ago, but I feel like she overreacted. So, am I the butthole Reddit?
Yes.
Yeah, you're controlling. And
yes.
You're
Yes.
controlling and you're borderline
This is
waiting
easy
to become abusive. Yes, you need to be alone, sir.
and gonna tell her what to do with her hair. I wish.
Well, I mean, there's levels to this, though.
He's a control.
Oh, he's controlling. Like everything he said was controlling, but
He doesn't like it. If you don't like purple hair, then don't dye your hair purple.
well, see the thing. Well, it's a little deeper than that, but the thing about, to me anyway, he started off really critiquing how she dresses.
Yeah, what was that? She wears
And-
tank tops and dresses.
So I'm like, first of all, he must not have much experience with pretty women because pretty women change their style constantly, like constantly, and then it's her hair, dude. I mean, for real. Okay, I get it's your girlfriend, so you feel like you should have some input, but she doesn't have to listen to you. So your thing is, hey, I don't think it's gonna look good. I like your hair the way it is. I prefer you don't change it. And then she's like, I'm gonna change it. That's kind of the end of the story there. Now when you come downstairs and her hair is purple and it's that much of a turn off for you, then you exit the relationship because that's your choice. She made her choice, you make your choice. But you don't sit there and try to force her to change to suit what you've decided for her. You can't even do that with your wife. How you
When
gonna
did
do it with your
she turn
girlfriend?
into his child? That's what I want to know. At what point did she turn into his child where he can tell
He
her?
thinks he's better. He thinks he's better than her.
And then the worst part. Oh, go ahead, Theus.
Yeah, that's it.
The worst part was when he said he didn't want to decimate the roles in the relationship. I'm like, if you don't sit your ward cleaver self down somewhere and shut your whole mouth, are you for real?
So he was just saying that because he knows that he's getting the best end of the deal. He doesn't want to change it. That's all.
Leave
Y'all,
him.
y'all missing the. This dude literally told on himself about being controlling at the very beginning of the story. The very beginning. Like I knew this was gonna go downhill. And you didn't yeah, anyway. She likes to change her style. One day she'll wear pants, the next day she'll wear skirts, the next day. Fool, who don't? Who everybody changes clothes.
Unless you
One
want
Well,
to
day he
everybody
wants to
talk.
changes
wear.
clothes, Marlon,
Well,
but what he was talking about is
she
her
changes her
style.
style. Yeah,
Because
she
they're
That's
like,
what I
changes
this
her
mean.
is
But
style.
who has the same style?
no, most people,
No,
I'm
most
willing
people
to
have
go
a
on a limb
style.
here and say most people have a set range of how they dress. They
Mm-hmm.
don't flip from hipster to conservative to midriff to miniskirt. They don't do all of that. Most women I've known, they have like 2 or 3 zones that they operate in. They don't go all, but except for the ones that, and I'm using the term very pretty, but the ones who are like those model chicks or has always been chased behind or they're fashion centered, they're really fashion centered, those women change constantly. And then one of the things I love most about black women, I know other women may do it too, but not to the extent that I know because I don't deal with y'all like that. But the way a sister can switch her hair up and become a whole different look. I mean, you see her and you be like, ugh, that girl ugly. And then you just swipe to the side and the next picture come up. You're like, damn. It's amazing the variety that women can do. And this is across the board with their appearance and all of that. He obviously he's very insecure, and his insecurity manifests through controlling.
He has a taste of what his woman, and I'm using exactly how
His
I feel
taste is
that he said it.
submissive. That's his
Yep,
taste.
that's pretty much
Submissive.
her.
He has a taste of how his woman should look like.
And he needs to go find June Cleaver, marry her instead of the modern woman that can think for herself.
See, I don't even think he has a taste in her look. I
He
think that's
wants to
just a
control
smoke
her.
screen. He wants whatever it is that she chooses needs to be conducive to what he likes.
And approved by
It
him.
doesn't matter what it is, what she's cooking, what she's
And
wearing,
approved.
how she talks, where she goes. As long as it lines up with what he wants,
Because
he
he's
got
the
no
center of
problem.
the universe.
Hey, boy, that was the best gaslighting. It ain't. I just don't like that color. I don't like that style. I don't know.
Keep your mouth
I don't
shut.
like somebody that's gonna damage her hair.
It's her
Now, look,
hair. She wants.
Tracy, if I don't like certain hairstyles, I'm gonna tell you.
I don't care.
And that's cool. But I'm just saying that's why you and I would never be compatible because I'm gonna tell you straight up. Look, I love the variety that people do with their hair and this, that, and the third. But if you say, hey, I think I'm gonna shave all my hair off, I'm gonna say, hey, that's up to you. I can't promise you I'm gonna like it.
And I would be like,
you do what you want to do.
First of all,
funny thing about it, Tracy, that's reverse controlling. That would honestly be the reverse controlling in certain things. You can do whatever you want to. We already established that. You can do whatever it is to your hair, to your outfit, to your wardrobe, to everything. You can do whatever it is that you want to. But don't turn around and get mad if we don't like it. Like, okay, you can do whatever it is. You are an individual. You can do it. But then you turn around and look at me, and you don't like the way my hair look. No, why you don't? Hey, I ain't got to tell you why I don't like it. You already did it. So why you care? If you didn't care that you changed it, why do you care? I don't like it.
We should not be judging people, especially women, by how their hair looks. You know how silly that sounds to me.
We're
that
not
just
judging you.
What are you talking about?
Your hair.
I don't like it.
Everybody judges appearances. We're visual creatures.
I'm just saying.
Okay, why would you change your hair? Why would you change your hair?
I don't like it. Well, if I've talked about coloring my hair before.
Okay.
Y'all say, "Oh, that's crazy." I haven't done it because
nobody said it was crazy. We just said we like your hair.
Go for it. What are you?
I like your hair, but
Well,
it's your hair.
But here's comes my point. My point is, if I decide to change it, I'm not asking anybody's permission. I'm just gonna do
Right.
it.
yep.
But here's the
Second is,
point,
I'm not gonna care about what your opinion is about the changes that I made
and
anyway.
that's what's the
Right.
matters. How are you in a relationship where you don't care what the other person thinks?
Where
That's
there
a
you are.
dead
Nah,
relationship
nah.
all day, every day. If my wife told me that she rather I let my hair grow and I walk around with the George Jefferson look all the time, I ain't gonna do it. But I will explain why I didn't, and we'll have that conversation. But I'd at least take into consideration what she's saying. It's never gonna be I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like if she tells me,
It ain't
Theus,
but
we
so
going somewhere. No, put on a sweater. Don't wear that. And I'd be like, I want to wear a hoodie. No, but we going somewhere nice. Put on a sweater. You know what I'm saying? That's out of consideration. I might relent. What you keep saying consistently is I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, no matter what you think. And that is a
I mean, I'll
doomed
take.
relationship. It will never work. Never work.
it's
Because
not gonna
nobody gets to have their way 100%.
it's not
Nobody.
gonna
I
work,
do.
Tracy. And be honest with you, there is no guy, and let me
But
paraphrase
there's
it.
some guys out there.
There is no person on the face of the earth that's gonna be in a relationship with somebody that's gonna constantly keep saying, "I don't care, I don't care, I'm
Not a
gonna
happy
do, I
person.
don't care, I don't care." You
That's
know what?
But
abuse.
I'm not gonna. If I,
I cooked this dinner for you.
Your
Oh, I'm
response,
allergic
Tracy,
to
is
that, and I don't
always
want
I
to eat. I
don't
don't care
care.
if you're allergic to it and you don't
it is,
like it.
but I would expect that if I'm with some guy and I don't like this hair, that's my problem, not his. He can do what he want to do. He can do exactly what he wants to do with his hair. It's
But the
not mine.
thing
It's
is like
his.
I guess it comes into like philosophies, right? Like I view things like this in a relationship. It's not my job to make you happy. Not my job. But what is my job is to create an environment you can be happy in. So that means everything that I'm doing as it relates to how it could impact you directly, indirectly, or whatever, I want to make sure it's an environment conducive to you finding happiness in it. Right. So that means sometimes I'm going to do stuff I don't want to do, but it'll make you happy or it'll make you comfortable. Not always about making somebody happy. Sometimes it's finding out, based on their background or what they done went through or what their personality type is, certain things you just kind of relent. You know, you just do. And I just think that that's my philosophy towards a relationship. But at the same time, I've been told I'm an android, so my way ain't all that cool either. Because at the same time, if I tell you, Tracy, you said you want to color your hair. I color your hair. It's your hair. Do whatever you want to do. Just understand. I don't like all the wild colors and stuff, right? I don't like that stuff. So if you come back with blue, green, purple hair, I ain't gonna. I can tell you now, I ain't gonna like it. And then you be like, whatever. And then you come home with blue, purple, and green hair. Unless we married, that's the end of our relationship. I ain't gonna fight with you. I ain't gonna argue with you. I ain't
You
gonna
gonna
do none
leave
of that.
somebody
I'm
because
just
you
gonna be like,
don't
Oh,
like their
now
hair?
you know. Now you know
what?
it too far.
No, why? Everybody gets to have their. See, I think my way of doing things is far fairer than any of the ones that most of y'all share. Because in my world,
It's not
you do
the only
whatever
person
you
who's in
want,
the
and then
fair
I get to
point of
react.
this is you because you got an Encyclopedia Britannica on rules and
It's
regulations
not
of
a rule.
dating.
That's just it. It's not a rule. You literally can do whatever you want. My standard is, are you creating an environment that I can be happy in? Because I'm gonna do my best to create an environment you can be happy in. And if we're out of sync, there is no point in me staying in this thing because one, I'm gonna be miserable or you're gonna be miserable. So
Okay.
my way is 100% fair. 100% fair.
My
You do
my
whatever the
here's
hell
my
you want
deal.
to.
Here's my question, and I'm gonna go exactly how you said. You can do whatever it is that you want to do. You
Mm-hmm,
can have blue, green, and red hair.
mm-hmm,
I'm telling you, I don't like it.
mm-hmm.
My question to you is, why does it affect you so much of you not liking it that you rather just drop the whole relationship?
Because it's just something. It's my preference. If you're dating, you can break up for any reason.
Hair. It's still hair.
It's not just hair. It's about what you like and what you don't like.
So
if you're not compatible, you're not compatible.
Relationship.
But what if you are compatible? You're compatible.
Obviously, we're not, because the type of women that I'm attracted to, generally don't operate in that wavelength. So, you didn't lose nothing. If I'm too judgmental, you just won, because now you done shed yourself of me being too judgmental. Congratulations, you're free to go now. Go with God, or Todd, or Billy.
Good gracious.
Am I correct in assuming that a partner that you would stay with would come to you and say, "Hey, babe, I was thinking about doing something different with my hair, and I'd like your input."
Yeah, your input is one thing. Your permission is a whole nother.
Well, I don't go with the whole permission structure, even though sometimes it might sound like I'm asking your permission. But that's kind of like if I go to my wife. Like, there's never a time like when the guys want to get together, or I just say, "Hey, we going." No. Hey, baby, this is what the guys are trying to put together. Is it okay with you if I go? Right? Now, she could say no. And odds are she does. I'm probably going to not go, because she wouldn't say no without a good reason. But that's where I'm saying the whole compatibility piece comes in. Y'all fixating on just the hair, but I'm saying the hair is bigger than that. I'm saying that it's about compatibility. If you are with someone that operates on a wavelength that you can't sustain or you're not comfortable with, it's unfair to both of you to stay in it. It's just unfair.
But okay.
I'm saying girls should leave old controlling dude, because he got way too many problems.
Oh yeah, this dude, she need to leave him.
Drop him like
no. But this is what Parker said. I feel like if you make it so that your decision will result in you leaving the relationship when you are kind of making it a rule.
No, because I'm not telling you that's what rule. I'm not telling you that's the outcome. What I'm telling you is, hey, I don't think I'm going to like it.
So
I can tell you if I'm not going to like something. What, I'm not supposed to tell you that?
No, I'm not saying.
Because if that's the case, man, fuck all that. Because I'm going to tell you.
But what if you do end up like if, and I'm just using
and then let's say I like it.
Yes.
Let's say I like it. Then I ain't nowhere. Is the issue's resolved?
That's a rule.
That's not a rule.
That's kind of a rule.
A rule is me saying to you, if you do this, then I do that. Or you cannot do this or else that. I'm not saying that to you. I am only saying do what you want to do. Now, I don't think I'm going to like it. That's as far as it gets.
Okay, yeah, none of us are going to be in a relationship with these. Let's all just agree with that.
I don't think anybody can be in a relationship. Nobody on this panel could be in a relationship with me. And I know from the stuff that you said, no way in heck I could be in a relationship with you. But that's fine. Like, it's okay. It's okay for people not to match.
All you're saying is it's an unwritten rule. Just because you not saying, all you saying is an unwritten rule. Just
it's my rule.
Saying that is a rule.
But you just said it wasn't a rule. Is it a rule?
It's not a rule for her. It's a rule for me.
Oh, gosh.
It's my standard. Everywhere I go is my standard. If y'all ain't got no standards, something wrong with y'all.
We have
you need to have your own standards.
There's a difference between having a rule and a standard. I have standards.
What? Well, so if somebody comes up to you, Tracy, and they are dating you, right?
Yes.
And y'all click, y'all get along, all of that. But he says, you know what? I'm an atheist and I don't believe in God and I think God's a joke. How that relationship gonna work, Tracy? How that gonna work?
That's a rule. That's not. I would first of all, we're not even gonna be dating if that's how
you know it came up. It didn't come up.
No, because you have to ask that to me.
That would be something that would come up in a conversation.
Not necessarily.
That's one of the first questions out of my mouth.
Never knew what their religious preference is.
If you have a Christian woman, and we all know that Tracy is a Christian woman,
everybody claims to be a Christian. Come on, what you got?
You don't think that's going to come up at the very beginning of the relationship?
It's going to come up at the beginning.
Maybe not.
It's coming up at the beginning. Trust and believe. It's coming up at the beginning.
Okay, or if he changes his mind.
If you be somebody,
you always date the representative before you date the person.
I'm pretty
Nobody
sure
goes on
that
Christian
Christian
Mingle.
Mingle
Them
ain't
people.
full of Christians. They're full of heathens. What you talking about?
Nah, don't nobody go to Christian Mingle.
I'm gonna go find me a good
Put up
Christian
Parker's
woman.
comment because I think I think Parker's right when he says this.
Oh, that
I would know, and you're not gonna just run up. Nah, that's one of the first. That's probably the first question out of my mouth.
So that's a rule then for you. Like you would say, "Hey, what is your religious identity?" And then he'll say,
No,
"Oh, I don't have one, or I don't believe." And that's like
actually the question I would ask is be a little bit different, but it's the same thing.
Is that a rule?
Is that a rule?
Or is it a requirement?
It's the teeters, and I'll tell you why. Ideally, I would want someone that shares the same faith as me. That would it would make life easier.
This is humorous. I like this. Go ahead.
But a rule to me, yes, there is a MAGA dating website. It's just gonna depend. That's the very first question I'm asking out of my mouth is, what do you believe about Jesus? Period. That's the first thing I'm asking. It's the very first thing I'm going to ask.
You don't believe in the whole witnessing thing?
But I know what you're going to say.
You got to already come to you packaged and ready.
Is that a rule or is that a requirement?
That's a requirement for what you just said.
It's probably both. It's probably both.
Okay.
I mean, I have rules, but and your example of the hair color.
So why are your rules any different than mine? How come my rules
because
are wrong
hair
and yours
colors
are right?
is trivial.
Well, for starters, she's actually admitting that it's a rule.
Yeah, I'm actually admitting.
To you, it's trivial because you're focused on the hair.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying you are like on level 2, and I'm talking on level 5. We not on the same wavelength here.
But that's my deal, Theus. The girl came back with different color hair, and you went because you colored your hair. We're not compatible on whatever you use, X, Y, Z, D, A, B, C. So I'm out. And it's like everybody's still looking at back.
How
at
are you missing what I'm saying? How in the world are you missing what I'm saying? It's not like she came back with brunette hair or blonde hair. You know what I'm saying? She came back with blue, purple, and green on the same head.
And if she wanted to color green, blue, yellow, and purple, that's her hair. She can do whatever she wants to.
And the problem is now that I'm looking at it and I really don't like it, then that means every time I'm around you, I'm judging you looking at your hair, or I got my nose turned up, or I got something slick to say, or I'm holding stuff in, bottling it up because I don't want to offend you. Now what type of relationship we got? You know what I'm saying? See, that's the problem here. Y'all so stuck on the hair, and I'm talking about the impact on the relationship.
No, but you said, go ahead, Marlon.
I'm stuck on a part of the body that I know I'm going to look at and go, in 2 or 3 weeks or a month,
it's going to change again. If she changes her style, she's going to change it tomorrow. She'll change it next week.
If you're dating someone, generally speaking, at least in my past dating experience, you kind of know the type of people that you're talking to. So if you're talking to a free spirit that likes to change their hair up a lot, that gets factored in. So you can't turn around later and be like, "Hey, how your hair dreaded up today? You doing dreads now? What is you?" If you know she's always experimenting with her look and her hair, and then it's factored in, and then what I just said wouldn't even matter because I chose her for this whole package thing. But if I'm dating a conservative kind of woman, or a woman who's like always wears an afro, and then all of a sudden she has an afro and natural hair, and then all of a sudden she going, you know, what's it called? Lie in a box, perm. She's doing
relaxers, which nobody should use.
Whatever you want to call it. And let's say that's a problem for me. Let's say I like natural hair, and that's my taste. Then I can either try to impose my taste upon her, which I think is wrong, or because we're dating, I can exercise my right. She had her right to do whatever she wanted to do. And she asked me for my input. I gave her my input, and then she made her own decision. And now I get to make my decision. as how is that ever unfair? Otherwise, I'm really imposing my standard onto someone else and saying, "Do not do this, or I'm leaving." That's wrong.
I'm
That's
not,
wrong.
but all I'm saying is this though. Over time, you see more This is wishful thinking, folks. Okay, I'm trying to give y'all wishful hopes and dreams here. Over time, you will see more things that you like about that person. The way she
Perhaps.
represents herself, the way that she talks, the way that she
I
walks,
agree.
the way that she acts, the way that she
Her
all the way down
personality.
to superficial things, the way that she cooks, the way that she designs, the way that everything
Marlon,
else.
as you're running
You
through your
took
grocery
one
list here.
thing out of the equation and dropped all of that, and still it comes to hair.
But Marlon, you go a whole grocery list that you just put in. First of all, you got to understand how I come into these things. So, because we're talking about how I view things, right? Which is what I'm trying to express to you. And also, the thing about it for me is like, I believe that love is one of those chemical reactions and emotional attachments that can happen if you allow proximity to exist long enough, right? If you are around someone long enough under the right conditions, you can fall in love with almost anyone because you start to see who they are beneath everything else. And then you can fall in love with that person, and it could be the wrong person for you to be in love with. You can be hopelessly in love with someone and they're like a drug abuser, but you see you know their heart, you know their soul. You're already attached to this person. Love is a very heavy thing. So for me, when you see things are not lining up where you are going to be the optimal partner for them, exit. Because if you stick in there too long, now you in love with somebody and there's weird trade-offs that start happening, right? Because it's not like, oh, she snores. Okay. Love will let you be like, yeah, she snores. I'll just go to bed first.
Who doesn't snore?
A lot of people don't snore.
I snore like.
Oh, I snore like a freight train, but I didn't used to.
That's another story.
I had surgery